Hey, good morning everyone. It's Dr. Angela, Denver's weight loss expert at MedFit Medical Weight Loss. I thought I'd do something a little different today. I don't think I have shown you guys my office, so come on with me. So this is actually the middle of our office. So we got some ellipticals and bicycles, and over here on this wall we've got some resistance bands. I have our personal trainer, Julia. We call her Jewel. She is your go-to gal on getting your fitness on. So we actually do one-on-one fitness training here. It's actually pretty cool because you don't have to deal with all of the gym noise waiting to be on a machine. It's nice and quiet. It's totally a private atmosphere. So I decided to put it in the middle of my office because I kind of like my own space. So it's Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining me. It is freezing here. It is like, I don't know, 2 degrees. I know it's not even, as cold as maybe like Minnesota, but we are definitely getting a cold front and getting possibly snow tomorrow. So I'm gonna say hi to Brianna here. Say, Brianna, hi. So today you guys have been waiting for the next tip of the week. I'm excited. I'm gonna go into the office so I can sit down. I am about 2.5 weeks post-surgery now. Again, thanks everyone for your support. I'm officially off crutches, and my physical therapy, my therapist Hillary has been amazing. She has been working on my quads so that I can literally relearn how to walk. But we are basically going to wean off the brace. Yay, finally. But I can just, I'm amazed at how I have kind of lost the ability to walk with my right leg. My right leg is just kind of like, whoa, what's going on? So it's just like really cool. So just like a shout out to physical therapists out there. They really do good work, and it's really important. Just because now that I'm a patient, I have a real true appreciation for what they do. So all right, well, you came to the right place. This is where you're going to get all the latest and greatest tips. One quick announcement: don't forget to catch me on Fox Fitness Fridays starting this Friday. Joanna and I are the powerhouse team, and we're going to be giving you the latest tips to help you stay on track. And this is actually the right time to start because we're going to build you up so that you're actually ahead of the game by the new year. So none of this like people just hopping into the gym and just kind of like, heads are falling off type of feeling. You guys are going to be like ahead of the game so that your New Year's resolution is something that you can achieve pretty quickly and not fall off like most other people. So now this is important because, hey, it's the beginning of December, and December is, Christmas, it's holidays. You know what that means. Lots of food around, cookies and chocolate and just all your warm comfort foods. So we actually got a question from one of you out there. Now her name is Janet, and she lives in Denver, and she submitted a question, so I dedicate this Facebook Live for her question because it was really good and it was perfect timing for me to address it so that it can help her and also help all of you who probably have the same question. Okay, so this is what Janet writes. Okay, so Dr. Tran, December is always a hard month for me. I gain 5 to 10 pounds, it seems like. There are holiday parties, potlucks, baked good at my office, and my kids are always begging me to bake them cookies. So I just want to maintain my weight this month, but how? Please help. So, all right, Janet, again, thank you so much for submitting your question. So I'm just going to let you know I am here to teach you how to make it through this month. I totally get it. We all are winding down, we're stressed out, we've got deadlines, we worked our butts off this year, but we're burning the midnight oil, and then we now have in-laws coming and we have to clean the house, and yes, all we want is just our comfort food so that we can just hit our beds and do it all over again and just hope that we're still alive by December 31st. Okay, so here is the secret. I enjoy, the favorite foods too. And so one of the biggest things that I teach my patients is that I want to help you take emotion out of the game, out of this whole food and diet process, because honestly, that's one of the factors is why we struggle with our weight. There's a difference between a normal, healthy weight person who eats food because they're physically hungry versus someone who struggles with their weight but eats because they're stressed out. And even though they actually eat the same amount of foods, guess what? The one who's overweight is still going to struggle because they're eating emotionally. So let me explain a little bit more about that. So I actually have a perfect example. So I had a conversation with my aunt over the phone, and we were super close, and we're just having a regular conversation, and she said she had a craving for apple pie. And I was like, wow, I love apple pie. That is one of my favorite desserts. And she asked me, should I have a piece of apple pie? Now, she actually had to physically go to like a cafe restaurant to buy it. It wasn't something that she necessarily had in her refrigerator. And so I said, well, that's not a very, fair question to me, because it's a lose-lose kind of question. It's sort of like if you were to ask your husband if you're fat. You don't want to ask that question. You don't want to put him in that situation, type of thing. And so I could say no, and then she'll just like kind of go back into that, well, no, and then she'll feel like, okay, well, I can't. But then the apple pie keeps calling her name. The more she says no, she gets angry about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, Angela doesn't know anything, I'm gonna get my pie because I can do whatever I want. You just like kind of get through this like mental battle, whether you should or you shouldn't. Even though I said no and gave you advice, you still kind of lose control and you say no. I mean, it like really kind of eats up at you, no pun intended. So now if I did the opposite, if I said yes, and she'll go to the cafe and she'll buy the piece, but guess what? She'll feel guilty right after. She'll like, oh, she'll enjoy it, but then like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that, bad for me, slap your hand. It's just gonna like, I already feel like the 5 pounds are coming on, and now you can see the cycle, whether it's no or yes. And again, it's just this mental war game that you constantly play with yourself. So part of my job is to let's get you out of that war battle. Now, for this particular month, the trick is you have to treat your calories like a bank account. That's how you take emotion out of the game. So let's say, for example, what you exercise is what you earn, and what you eat is what you spend. So now you want to create a budget. Let me give you an analogy. So you've got kids, and your oldest son wants a Xbox, game. Okay, now as you know, Xbox games are not cheap. They're at least 50 to 70 bucks, depending on what you want. And so you sort of kind of decide, well, as Santa, like, was he good this year? And you decide to buy it or not. You decide, is it too expensive? Is it in your budget? And if it's in your budget, you buy it, right? Because he was good this year, you want to make him happy. He, like I said, he did his chores, he got his grades, and you feel really good. But you're not gonna like, if you don't have the budget, you're not gonna necessarily like spend it, but then you're gonna feel guilty about it. You have a fairly decent ability to put your foot down and say, well, we don't have the budget, we'll give him something else that's on the list. Okay, that's how I want you to treat food, okay? So back to the apple pie scenario. So what I actually told my aunt as my answer is that you get to decide whether you want the pie or not me.
Okay, I told her it's important for you to decide, because if I tell you, it's going to lose-lose. But if you decide, it's win-win. And then she said, how so? And I said, just earn it. Okay, so is it in your budget? So I told her, go ahead, look up a piece of apple pie. You know, it's roughly about like 350 calories. Then you have to look up an activity that burns 350 calories to get that. Okay, so for me, just to let you know, that probably requires like a 45-minute run minimum. Now, I don't like to run, and now that I have a bad knee, I'm not going to be picking up running anymore. But just to kind of give you a scenario example, and so now you start to kind of weigh your options, and she's like, well, I don't know if I really want to put in, 45 minutes of running. Maybe it's just best to, opt out of apple pie for today. And I said, I think that's a great decision. So that's how that works. Now, just to let you know, I don't want this to be confused with exercising and using food as reward. We want to be careful, because the mistake that people make is that, well, if you run and you exercise, you think you burn enough calories to deserve that burger, but that burger actually is more like 600 to 800 calories, but you only exercise 300 worth. But you think you deserve it, but then you start to actually overspend and not earn enough. So don't get caught up in that trap. So, but for this particular month, for you, Janet, you just want to stop yourself and say, did you earn it? Do you have it in your budget to eat your favorite foods? And if it's yes, that's okay, because you exercise and you earned it. But if it's no, you're not going to exercise, then again, you want to, save your calories for another day. The second part of this example, or this tip that I have for Facebook Live today, is that, as you know, with money, they're an investment. When you spend something, you kind of want to see, what is my return? Okay, so if I buy, let's say, for example, a stock, and it actually is in the green, that means I make more money back, and then it makes me want to spend more money, and I can, as I know the return. With food, you also want to ask yourself that question, what is my return? Okay, am I going to go to fast food and get a burrito? What kind of return is that? Nope, I'm going to be in the red. I'm going to be down. Wall Street's going to be like ding, ding, ding. Nope, it's down, down, down. Or am I going to eat, something healthier? In fact, I have fish tacos on my mind today. That is going to be a return, because I know I don't get bloated. I don't feel like heavy. It actually is going to give me the right protein that I need, so that I can save my calories, just in case I do want to treat myself for dessert later on. But I have the budget now for a healthier version, and I know it's good for my body. So see how that works? Using it as a bank account. You really want to monitor your calories in and your calories out, and you want to make sure that you are exercising and earning and not spending too much, so that you create a budget. That's exactly how you are going to survive December. And it also develops the right habits, so that you can start January with the ground running, so that you can already get your habits in place, so that it's not really necessarily a diet shock. You've already been in practice. All right, so that's my tip for today. Use your calories like a bank account. That's how you're going to survive December. Again, don't forget, catch us on Fox and the CW Fitness Fridays. It's on the Daybreak News channel. Joanna and I are your power team for fitness and health tips, and we're so excited. Catch us every Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And thank you again, Janet, for submitting your questions. For all of you out there, please feel free to submit the questions. I'm here. It's my job to make sure that I break all the noise and clear up all the confusion of what you need to do. This is a critical time, because you want to get going in January. You want to start losing weight. You don't want to get caught in a stall already. So please utilize me as a resource. Go out and check out my website at www.denverweightlossclinic.com. Subscribe to my e-newsletter. I'm going to be pumping out a lot of tips, particularly this month, so that I can get you on track for 2017. So thanks for joining me, and don't forget to tune in live again next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll see you next week.